Tree Country 1330 WTRE 10:08 on this Tuesday morning. The sun is shining. It's getting warmer. It's going to get warmer. We've got Ruoff Mortgage in with us this morning. Gene Cooney, welcome.
Thank you for having us.
You brought a guest along with you today.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Amy Okerl, and I'm a sales representative for Beacon Builders.
All right, from Beacon Builders. So you guys you're here in town, offer a whole line of financing and everything that goes along with mortgage. So, Gene, let's just start with you and kind of give us the overview of what you do at Ruoff.
Basically, any type of loan you can think of, except for bare land or bridge loans, things like that. Or right now, we can process a USDA loan, but with the government shutdown, we can't get the final condition that we need, which is the conditional commitment that's underwritten by USDA, their underwriters. So we can do everything else on that loan, but then just wait on that final condition, and that'll be whenever it's going to be, I guess. But VA on Veterans, happy Veterans Day. Thank you to all the vets out there, men and women that served our country and allowed us to be free. But VA loans, we don't charge any processing or underwriting fees on those all year round. It's not just on Veterans Day. So that saves around $1,500 for our vets. FHA's a government loan as well. It's going as well because there's no really underwriter that manually underwrites it. We have conventional 3% down, home ready. If you're in a lower income status, it gives you kind of a break on interest rate and PMI. Conventional 5%, 3% downs. We have the Home Now FHA, which you can do a 96.5% first loan and then a second loan at 3.5 at loan to value on that one. So you have a first and a second loan.
Okay.
The second one's based on a 10-year amortization, and it's 2% higher interest rate than what the first one will be at. But, we have a wide variety of loans.
You have a lot of options, and that, I would assume, the goal is to be able to fit anybody's need that comes through your door within reason.
Absolutely. That's the purpose. That's always my purpose. And a lot of people may think that they can't get approved because I only got a 640 or 650 credit score. Well, you can get approved on those credit scores. Debt ratios are another thing. Down payment, what type of situation. And the first question always is with the customers is basically, okay, what are you needing out of this loan? Do you have money for a down payment? Are you looking to live there for 5 years or 30 years? Because ultimately it's their loan, you know what I mean? They're paying the mortgage for it. And so just having those conversations, what's the best loan product, and then giving them 2 or 3 solutions. And if for some reason we can't do anything at that time, we have through our credit agency, we can do a what if scenario that kind of gives them a game plan of, okay, you're at a 560, in 6 months you could be at a 640. Here's exactly what you need to do over the next 6 months, and if you do that, you can get yourself to a 640, and then you'll be in a good position to purchase at that time.
You can lay out kind of the future, what that looks like for somebody.
Absolutely.
All right. Amy, tell us about Beacon and what services you offer.
Okay, Beacon Builders is a smaller builder. They're centrally located. Both the owners are from the area. And we build in several communities: Greensburg, Columbus, Seymour, Mooresville, Bloomington, and we will be building in Batesville. Did I say Columbus?
Yes. I think you did.
And we're a production builder, but we also offer a chance for people to add a lot of their own personalizations to the home. So they do have a lot of choices, and sometimes there are things that we can actually customize for them. But we're not a full custom builder. It's more production. So you have certain floor plans to choose from, and then you'll have colors and different selections and things like that to just help people get exactly what they want. We're trying to just offer an affordable home with a amount of square footage that's affordable and a home that's ready for you to move into. So even if you buy a home at the base price without putting any upgrades in, you still have a very beautiful home with everything in it ready for you to move into, like lights, the plug, everything will be there for you.
And are you currently building in all of those communities?
We are actually building in all those communities. The community in Batesville, we aren't building in yet. It should be coming soon, maybe, hopefully, then the spring.
Oh, okay.
It'll be
So
ready.
it's on the horizon.
Yes, it is on the horizon.
All right. So do you two work together collectively to make these dreams come true for people?
Yeah, I had a customer that was purchased a Beacon home in, I think, Seymour first, or was it Batesville? No,
Probably
Seymour.
Batesville.
Was it Batesville?
Long time ago.
Yeah, it was with Batesville, and that went pretty smooth, right? Quick, easy, and then we did another one in Seymour, and then just started the relationship there back and forth of, knowing exactly what they want and needed, and then them knowing that we're going to get it done quickly and be ready to close on time when they ask, and making it a simple process for the customers. And so after that, it kind of became a stronger relationship that they trusted us enough, or me enough, to be a preferred lender. And at that point, they were given $2,000 off closing costs to the borrowers if they use a preferred lender, which we were. And so we offer $2,000 to match it, 1% of the loan amount, or up to $2,000. And so borrowers can get up to $4,000 off their closing cost, which takes a large chunk of that closing cost away.
Takes a huge chunk.
Yeah.
So with you guys working together, I decide I want to purchase one of the Beacon homes. What does this timeline look like for me? I've picked out what I want. Now what happens?
Well, first you'll come and get pre-approved, get conditionally approved. I'll look at everything, make sure everything looks good. Then I'll get you a pre-approval letter, and then ask you if you want me to send it on to Amy. You say, yeah. I send it on to Amy, and then she takes over.
Yes. And then all it takes is $1,000 earnest money, your pre-approval, and your signed purchase agreement. You will have to have your floor plan picked out and the lot that you want.
Okay.
That gets you started. Beacon carries all the cost of construction, so you pay nothing until close at the end, which from signing the purchase agreement till your home is completed can be around 6 to 8 months, give or take.
So a little bit different when you're talking like purchasing a Beacon home versus a construction home that I may be building on my parents' farm. Because
Right.
I'm not carrying, with Beacon, you're carrying that construction load and kind of that loan
Yes.
versus me doing that somewhere else.
Right.
So that's a huge chunk of just relief, right?
Yeah. Also, with that, you're looking at the period of that to where you can, about 35 days. What'll happen is we get it all approved. They get the final numbers, give it back to me, and then they say, okay, within 35 days, go ahead and send out the appraiser for the preliminary appraisal subject to completion. And at that point is when I get back with the borrower and say, okay, we need updated pay stub, we need updated bank statements, if we need those, and then we need go ahead and rerun credit, because credit's good for the 120, and we'll be past that. And so redo that so that once that comes in, that's the only documentation we need. Order the appraisal, get them to sign the disclosures with the correct amounts and everything, and then hopefully all we're waiting on is insurance and the final inspection, and be done.
You two have kind of collectively made this a very streamlined process for people.
It has to be, because building a home, some people are getting married, having children,
having babies. Yes.
You know what I mean? So
You
they're doing
add
all
life
this
into
thing,
all the pieces.
right? And
Having
so
parents move in.
right, and so trying to take. And we try to do that. They try to do it on every loan that every house that they build or sell. We try to do it on every loan that we, make it as easy as possible. Now, there's certain things. If there's bank statements that show large deposits and things like that, we're going to have to paper trail it. If there's things out of the ordinary, we're going to have to paper trail it or explain it. That's not my guidelines. It's not our underwriting guidelines. It's Fannie Freddie. It's the guidelines of the loan product. And so, trying to get that all out of the way ahead of time so that I might be a pain in your butt for 7 days getting this documentation and everything. If you don't have it already, some people don't have it. They got to go online. We give them that information, where to go online to get that information. Try to make it as easy as possible for it. But with people, technology on their phones and everything else, it makes it a lot easier for people. And doing the loan butler, they can automatically upload it right to our application website. So making it as easy as possible on them so it's not stressful. And so getting those surveys coming back saying, I thought my last loans were stressful and this and that, and this just simplified it, and we can contact Gene, Amy, or Beacon at any time to kind of go over, answer any questions. It's a good feeling, you know what I mean, to try to make it as easy as possible on them.
It's been an ongoing discussion about interest rates for years now.
Yes.
Where, like, when we're sitting, and I know, it's all dependent on credit and all of those kind of things, but when we're looking at these new homes and doing these buildings, where are we kind of running as far as the interest rates at this point?
I like to start off with when the feds lower the rates, those are not right directly for mortgage rates, right? So the mortgage rates are going to be based on inflation, bond market, 10-year treasury, Federal Reserve policy, economic growth, housing markets, global events, things like that. That's going to kind of dictate what the mortgage. When the feds lower the rates, it's for the credit cards, personal loans, equity lines, things like that. So some people are like, well, the feds just lowered it a quarter, so it should be a quarter less. Not necessarily. Sometimes can negatively affect it, because then they come out and say, well, our inflation's this, or the unemployment is this. So that can negatively affect it sometime and create kind of an awareness for the customers that doesn't know, right? That saying, well, why isn't the rates lower if the feds just lower the rate? So, but you're probably looking for a USD, a government loan. You're probably looking, depending on credit scores, probably in the 6.375 range. Probably same around the conventional, depending on what type of loan. Right in that range. Okay. Kind of give you a little variance. It could be an eighth cheaper, or it could be an eighth more, depending on credit score or type of loan.
All right. So when you're, Amy, working with Beacon and working to create these homes, is there a certain type of loan that you guys prefer, or is it just working with the lender to see what's going to be that best collaboration between the purchaser and yourself?
Yes, working with the lender, the best collaboration. I mean, there are some, like the government loans, we will only use our preferred lenders for those.
Because those take a little bit extra documentation, forms to be filled out from the builders. You have FHA forms and the VA forms, and each one USDA, depending on the new build, they want their own individual, documentation, right?
We don't reuse forms for anybody.
So it's 3 or 4 forms, and I will say rates change daily. So what somebody quoted you a month and a half ago before you started looking, rates they can change daily. Like I just quoted what the estimated rate was. That's what I saw yesterday. I could go into the office and the rates could change, midday, depending on the market. So those rates can change daily and are not locked in until you have a property and you lock it in.
Let's go back a little bit. Let's start with credit. So that's the word everybody hears it and they're like, oh my gosh, credit, my credit's bad, this is bad. Where do we start with credit, and how do we get to where we need to be able to purchase one of these homes?
Sometimes you don't know that you don't know. If somebody may be your work and say, oh, just pay this collection off, or pay this credit card off and close it out, that's best for you. Not necessarily. Sometimes closing those credit cards out can be more harmful than good. And then also the certain collections, they've been in dormant for maybe 3 years, but then you pay them off and they bring them back to life. And so those sometimes, so I would say get with me, give me a call, go online, do an online application, then a follow-up call saying, hey, I did the application, I don't know what my credit is, but can we sit down and look at it? And then I'll look at it. Credit cards, I mean, if you're $1,000 limit and you owe $999, then it's a high risk per the credit scores, right? And if you got several of them, then you have no room for error if something happens dramatically. So if you can keep it around 20% or less on your credit cards, it's great. No late pays. That's no 30-day lates, right? Collections, try to keep not to have a collection. But if it's there before you pay it off, or before you pay off a credit card and close it, that may be because the credit card may be the only line that's helping your credit. Just not knowing how to use that to build your credit is another thing. It may be that I tell you, go out and get a Kohl's card and charge $10 on it and get me the first statement, and then we can send it back in, because we can do a what-if scenario through the credit agency. It tells us what can we do immediately or within 30 days to build this credit, bump it 25 points or bump it 40 points. And it's pretty close on and sometimes it comes in a little bit higher, a little bit less, but we know we're right in that range.
if someone thinks there's absolutely no way, my credit's awful, there's no way I can do this, it may not be tomorrow, and it may be not in 6 months, but you can rebuild that credit to get to where you want to be.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you'll invest in the time, I'll invest in the time to show you how to get there. And so it's sort of like I tell people, like, when you go to college, you have a 4.0 when you start. You start not going to classes and skipping, and you got a 2.5 at midterms, and you're on academic probation. It's harder to get back up to the 4.0, right? You're never going to get back up to that 4.0, but you can build it back up little at a time by hard work, right? And so that's kind of how I say it's not easy. It's not gonna, it's not gonna be an easy way. And sometimes it's out of the people's hands of what happened. It could be medical issues. It could have been, unfortunately, a divorce or something that kind of put both people in a bad situation. In which, and I get it. I'm human. I'm just
We've
like
all been
I'm
there.
just like them. Stuff happens, and so how can I help you?
All right. So with Beacon, you have preferred lenders. Jean's one of those that you use. For you, when you sit down with someone to create this home, what's that like for you? Because this is, this may be the only home they ever build. This may be the only home they ever own. Right. So what's that like for you to be able to sit down and create this scenario for them?
It's exciting for me. I mean, I love, like, sometimes it's somebody's first home and they thought they would never be able to own a home. And it's just so exciting to see them get their own home and they get to pick things to go in it. So I love it. I mean, I almost feel like they're my kids or something. I used to teach school.
Okay.
So, like, it's kind of like that. It's in like, oh, look, how my kids doing.
And it's impressive when you see the younger generation that are doing it. And I'm like, at that age, I wasn't even thinking about, building a home, let alone. But also at that age, we could still buy a $105,000 home.
Well, I think that's the next important point, too, is that what you could buy, 20, 30 years ago compared to what you can buy today is a vastly different.
It's huge. It's a big difference, right? And so everything keeps going up, but the values of those homes are continue to go up, they have been over how many years, and the forecast is the values are going to. So the investment is there. And I'm sorry, landlords, but if you can invest in yourself by buying a home and building your own equity and paying your own equity, then if you can, then I would. And I understand the reason for rent and landlords,
Absolutely.
and they're wonderful for them to be able to buy those houses and to rent them out to people that may not be able to get something right now. And it's a stepping stone that it's a huge asset for borrowers. But you got to look at it both ways. Am I only going to be in town for 3 years? Then probably, maybe not. Rent, yeah, you know what I mean. But if you're thinking of this is where I'm going to be and I want to be here for a long time, then try to work towards buying your own piece of the
it's definitely a great
American
start
dream.
to building wealth for your family.
I think, too, and you're right, landlords are important and they do a
Very,
great job
yeah.
in the world. But right now, when you're hearing what rent is running for so many people, I stop and I'm like, you could have a really nice house for that mortgage.
Yes.
So we can get people to that point.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the drawback is like, that's my credit. I can't get there.
Yes.
But they're really, if they have that kind of income supporting that kind of rent, they can get there.
Yeah, and it's the inventory, right? The inventory of houses and things like that has been lower in our area. When Beacon came and started doing this, like, that's what we've needed for years.
Yeah, a long time,
right?
yes.
For affordable housing for people that work two jobs, both are working, factory or wherever they're at, and working all this overtime. But now you have affordable housing that, with the rates up, it's huge for the square footage that you get and the quality built. I lived in the neighborhood with my girls me and my wife, with our girls growing up in the neighborhood similar to that, to where all the kids in the neighborhoods and the families and the friends and everything like that, and like you just felt safe, like you felt
Because
like
of
growing up
community.
it's like your own little town, right? And so everybody knew everybody. And did everybody get along? No. Somebody's making somebody mad daily, but that's friends, that's family, you know what I mean? But seeing them grow up with the other girls and the other families and the other kids, and 18 to 20 kids in this neighborhood of all ages playing and doing things like that's cool, right? And then when we did a cookout over at the Liberty Lakes. Like all the families came down and we grilled out and they ate and they painted pumpkins and they talked.
It's a close community already.
And it's not just like this age group or this age group or this or that's, like every walk of life is over there.
Right, and even people that are under the process of building attended.
Came out.
And they're just
And talking to each other. Well, what'd you do? Oh, this, that. Yeah, when you get done, if you need any help, let me do. And it's just cool. Like we have enough negativity in this country.
It's cool to see something come together.
It was cool.
And
it
we've
was
already
cool.
had 2 new babies.
Two new babies.
Community.
Yes.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. Yep. So it's growing. The population is
It's
growing out
quickly,
there.
right?
Yeah.
When you look at Liberty Lakes, I always joke with the mayor. I'm like, another house popped up, because when I might go by there once a week and it's like, oh, there's a new roof. Like it popped up, but they are like, you're progressing quickly and you've been able to build this community. It's taken a lot more time than what it looks like on the outside, but relatively quick. You've created this community within Greensburg.
It's fun. It's fun going by there and seeing. I'm like, wow, yeah, look at that. And the people that are working on it, like I drive by on a Sunday and there's people out there putting gutters up. I'm like, what?
They're just moving right along.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
When we look at these homes, they are affordable homes. What kind of is that price range that it starts at Liberty Lakes, and where? I mean, you can add and add and add, so I'm sure it can go on forever.
Right.
But
so our base price starts around $233,900. That's for like a 1,200 square foot home, and then we go all the way up to almost 3,000 square feet, and that base price is $3,029.
Okay, and you can, with those bases, you get to choose some things.
Yes,
some
you get
options.
to choose all your colors and everything, and that does include the lot. But if your lot has a premium, that would be added to the base price. So let's say your lot has a $3,000 premium, you would just add that to the base price.
And is that based on location of your lot? Is that where
Size
that
and
comes from?
location? Yes.
Okay, and there's still plenty of area out there to build.
Oh yes, we have 102 lots. We have 30 that currently have something going up on them. So we have, a lot of lots still open.
All right.
Yep.
So when we talk about those prices, let's talk down payments, because that comes along with purchasing a home. There's a wide variety, I'm sure, as there are different mortgages. So let's talk about some different options we have there.
USDA, of course, 100% financing.
Are there certain qualifications for the USDA loans?
With debt ratio, housing ratio, they're a little bit more strict on the housing and debt ratio, which is income coming in to money going out for the mortgage payment, which is your housing ratio, income coming in gross to house and the total debt that you have, cars, credit cards. So, yeah, it'll vary on that because we have to run it through GUS system, and it has to also give us an approve. So we can go 100% there. 1 to 4 people in the household, you're roughly about $110,500 gross that you can make household income. Even if say dad's not on the loan and it's only mom on the loan. If dad's making income, we have to verify what his income is as well, because we know it's just part of their guidelines. We have to know what it is. Now over that, you can go a little bit higher. 2 parents, 3 kids, you're looking a little bit higher than that. Okay. VA, 100% financing also. You have to be a veteran, DD 214. We have the Home Now, which is 100%, FHA, the first and the second that we talked about loans. Besides that, you're looking at probably 3% down to be the next. And basically when they come to me, we get them pre-approved. They say, I'm only wanting to get pre-approved for $260. I'm like, all right, well, I can get you approved for $275, $280. So that's what we're going to send your conditional approval in at, because I know once you get over there, you're may want to upgrade in this and that, so that we can go ahead and have the pre-approval letter at the amount that they're pre-approved for, send it over, and they know, okay, they're starting at $250, but if they start getting up, that we don't have to get a new pre-approval, or because it's always easier to get your pre-approved for higher and you find something less than it is for less and something higher. So, then, like I said, those 3 loans are the main ones. You have to be a veteran for the VA, and then the USDA, the Home Now.
So there's several options. I think a lot of people get in their heads, I have to have 20%. I have to have 20% down.
Yes.
But there's a lot more options out there than just that 20%.
And money down, you can get 3% down. You can get 401k. You can pull from your 401k a loan that you're paying basically yourself back, with basically no penalty because you're paying yourself back. Gift from a family member. It can't be from a realtor or seller or anything like that. And we have to paper trail it. We're going to have to paper trail these things. But it basically, a gift, grandma wants to give you $10,000 for your down payment. Great. Mom and dad want to give you this amount of money for a down payment. Fantastic. Brother, sister, just a family member. And then, and so that can kind of take away, oh gosh, I have to have 20% or 5%. Where am I going to get this money? Because there are ways. But if they don't have any ways and they don't fit one of those guidelines, then maybe it is a saving up, or you're over the income limit for USDA. The next thing would be you're not a veteran, so we have to go to the Home Now and see if you qualify that way, which will allow higher debt ratio and housing ratio on that type of loan. But it also is a little bit more expensive on the closing costs.
So I think the important piece that we take away from any of this is that there are options, and you are not locked into not buying a home.
No, absolutely not. If it's a dream of yours, then give me a call.
And the great thing about having him to work with is he's right here in the community. So, like, if I have somebody in that has questions, I just get him on the phone right away, or I hook them up with a text, or he'll pop in. And
easy access.
Yes.
You have
and
to
then
be.
I think he makes everybody feel comfortable, because some people are like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. This is scary,
It's
I'm like, Gene will help you out.
I've been doing this for 26 years now. Started with my dad and Family Mortgage Loans, listening to him on speakerphone. That's how I listened to him talk to people, and that's how I learned the business. I came from factory, GCOM, to straight into mortgage. And so just listening to him talk to people and how he was calm with them and spoke with them, and he's like, just treat every person as the same, whether it's a $200,000 home or a $500,000 home. If it's, they work with suit and tie, or they're greased all up from a factory. And that's just how we were raised, you know what I mean? So it doesn't matter. I've seen all walks of life through my life.
And it takes everybody to make the world go round. We're not going to all survive in a $500,000 home.
Absolutely. I worked at a factory they put in a lot of hours. They work their butts off, or any walk of life. If you're in a job and you're giving your absolute best, you're going to put a lot into it, and it's stressful no matter what you do. My wife's a teacher. She is
maxed out.
She is. It's like being a stay-at-home mom, overworked and underpaid.
That's right. I couldn't do it. They do amazing things.
No, she's fine.
As the builder, like as Beacon, what do you, as you go into the future, you're building and you've got all these communities coming in, but what do you guys look for in the future? What do you want to see come out of your business?
I just think we just want to see families thriving and building wealth. That's just an important part, to see that we can make a difference.
Growth within the community.
Yes, definitely growth in the communities.
And it's amazing, just like you guys said, you've already seen this community come together, but seeing that within our whole community, it's a great thing to see all of that incorporating and just growing, flourishing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, our country's been negative for long enough, right? So great things like this, there's I don't see the negativity to it, right? You're always going to have people that are going to be negative about anything, right? Until they because they don't understand it or don't, but if you can understand the reasoning for it, and you see those people, and like it hit me that day at that I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool.
And isn't it cool though to see, like, this is what you want to see come to fruition, and here it is right in front of you.
With what, 8 families, 7 families? Yes. Like it was that quick, and like all of them talking, the kids playing together and everything. It was just a cool thing. And so we're doing we joined to where we're going to be doing on December 7th, Sunday, December 7th. We're doing a holiday movie, which is Claus. So at the Wolf Theater. 1 o'clock, the doors will open. There'll be Santa Claus there to have pictures for families if they want to come in and take family photos. Okay. They want to take pictures. He'll be there from 1 to 4. The movie will start at 2. The movie's free, popcorn's free, and the drink's free for the movie. All they have to do is, you'll see it posted everywhere online.
Okay.
Is they kind of click on the what is
QR
The
code.
QR
code. I always get that.
I know
up.
we've moved on.
I think
from
I've called it
links to QR
CVS
codes
or something before. A QR code, and then you can put all your information. It'll RSVP. We'll get a list of it. It'll keep calculating it or
Okay.
adding it together. We'll have one theater. It's going to have roughly 100 comfortably. I think it seats 125. But
yeah.
and if we get to where we think we're going to have too many more, then we'll get another theater open.
Bump it. So it's going to be Claws. That's a fun movie too.
Claws. I've not seen it.
You've not seen it?
I
Yes,
have
it's a
not
good
seen
movie.
it. Yeah, it was that one or what was the other one? The Grinch. But I was
Okay.
like, I think everybody's kind of seen the
Seen-
Grinch many
yeah.
times. But so it was the Claws, and then we're gonna also she bought
Santa
a
hats?
bunch of Santa
Yeah,
hats for
Santa
the
hats and
adults
candy
and
canes.
children
Oh,
and candy
fun.
canes. So we'll be giving that out. But yeah,
It's going to be a big
free.
Christmas party.
It's
is.
free for anybody who wants to bring their family. Maybe they don't get to the movie. Maybe they've not seen it. Maybe they want to have a free picture with Santa and put it on their postcard or family cards.
And
or
that's
whatever.
a great afternoon, and to be free, that's a huge chunk of money for some of these families. By the time you buy a
Definitely.
movie ticket,
Yes.
popcorn, and a drink, it can get a little pricey.
Yeah,
so
but it will be free.
very cool.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this has been so fun having you in
Yeah,
today.
thanks. I appreciate it.
Most importantly, though, how do we get in contact with you? We've talked about everything else, but
I'm out there everywhere. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, but my cell phone number is 812-593-1693. I'm at 102 East 10th Street.
right on the corner.
Right on the corner, right across the street. Well, catty corner from Wendy's. So if you're grabbing a burger, get it and come on over and we can talk about a mortgage.
All right. And email address, or is it easier to...
It's Gene, Gene .Cooney, COONEY at Ruoff, RUoff.com.
All right. Very good. All right. And you, ma'am?
Yes, my phone number is 812-350-0135. And you can find me at 2310 Liberty Lakes Drive on Saturdays, Sundays, 12 to 4, Wednesdays, 4 to 7, or by an appointment. And my email is amy@coopergroupnd.com. And you can also find out more about Beacon on their website, beacon-builders.com.
All right. And if you are out at Liberty Lakes, is that where you can go out and kind of see the model home?
Yes, the model home, there's an office in there. You'll see it when you pull
It's
in.
the first one on the right, right?
Yes, and instead of a garage door, there's a glass front. That's the office, and then the home is a model, and then any homes under construction we can tour.
Very good. Well, guys, thank you so much. You've shared a wealth of information today.
Thank you.
And we're happy to have you back anytime and go over more stuff. Anything that we've missed today that you want to talk about?
I think we pretty much hit it all.
I think so.
All right. And once again, your free movie event is December 7th.
December 7th. Doors open at 1 o'clock. You'll just have to scan the QR code
to RSVP.
to RSVP, and then be a free drink, a free popcorn to each, and also you get a Santa Claus hat and candy
And your Santa
canes, and
picture.
then the Santa
And your
picture.
picture.
So bring the family, and even if you just don't want to do the movie and you just want to come out and take a
Yeah,
picture with
that's what I was gonna
Santa,
say, just get your picture with Santa.
come out and get a picture with Santa. Bring the kids out.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. We're going to find some more people in their dream homes, get them hooked
Absolutely.
up. And, Gene, what's your number once again here locally if they need to get a hold of you?
812-593-1693, and I have an online website that they can go to. It's just ruoff.com/Gene Cooney.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing all your information, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.